Okay, this is definitely a big tell that we should go into reviewing the mech items that I've gotten. So the ones that I've gotten, let's start with the ones we already all know. So the one that we already know, we have 3 of those for me, but they're all kind of reworked a bit. So we're going to start with the durable. I had to, like, I'm thinking, you know, all the native English speakers, and they give them easy to read items, and then me, I get durable. A difficult one. And also I got another one that I didn't know how to read. I learned that word. You're going to see the item later through playing the Bazaar. So durable here, the difference that we know that happened in the change here is the amount of region you get, but it's nothing to be that much excited about, right? This used to be a very broken item before with the farm, the solar farm on Dooley, but right now it's been boosted, so it kind of matches the early regeneration power you can get from those fiery rocks when you're playing pig. I think it's one of those items that should be doing a similar, should be having a similar purpose to that one. And it also has a tool tag on it, which could be useful. I've noticed a lot of mech items have tool tags on them, so that could be pretty useful. The next one is the word that I learned through playing the Bazaar. I did not know how to read this word once. I remember getting it dropped from an NPC character, and I played it on my board. Whenever I would get it, I would always play it on my board. I think it's a very good item to play around, but there is a bit of a difference now that I noticed in the item. First is the color of the borders, right? It's a silver item now. What does that mean? It means it's going to be a lot more available to find in shops than it would be as a gold tier item. You would, if you watch my stream, you know how much I complain about never finding a bunker or never finding like a shipwreck. Like, I just don't get to see those items that often. That's why I'm thinking they have changed the numbers about cooldown reduction. So if my guess is correct, here having the cooldown at 5% reduction for the fight, at gold it could be 10, and then at diamond it should be a 15% cooldown reduction on the item. Another interesting thing is the tag. So it has a vehicle tag. I think it used to have a vehicle tag before. Dinosaur is also a tag that appeared a couple of patches ago. Yes, the crit was I think it was 10, no, 50, it was 10 and 20 or something like that, but they've changed it now. So I'm thinking it's kind of more reasonable. It's more reasonable in both how much crit it gives you for your board, because it's a non-use item, and it's more reasonable about how big of a cooldown reduction it gives you. Like, basically, if the cooldown reduction were higher than 15 on diamond, I think we would just have a bunch of Atalatls on mech boards, and it could be pretty strong. We have not gotten the upgrade versions, so we're speculating together about how it upgrades. But I'm feeling that it's going to be a cooldown reduction for your items if they crit to go to 10 and then 15% for the fight. I think it's going to be quite a good item. Even now, it's a very good item. Usually, like, the thing is, you don't see it that often even now when we don't have mech. And whenever I would get it, I used to run crit boards. I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but it was very useful. Whenever I would get it, I would play it. I think it's going to be one of those board making items. Now, this one is interesting. First, when I saw the pack that I got, and when I read through it, I was just like, yeah, Venom. You know, when you get Venom from an NPC, you just like instantly sell it. You don't even think about it. But then when I read what happened, they've changed it, right? So right now, it's a small item that says, when you use an adjacent weapon, poison 1. What does that mean? It's a passive item now. And it allows your weapons, if you have fast weapons, to actually have interactions with Venom and applying Venom. Like, imagine this with the drill board. I'm thinking as a Dooley perspective, but yes, think about that, what you said, Chet, by the way, saying this is a Dooley item. We're going to go back on that, seeing the next item. So the rest of the items I've gotten, the last 2, are new items. So let's look at them. I'm actually really excited about this one. So this one starts at bronze, right? When you see the number 15 damage, it doesn't mean much, and it seems like it's not a lot. But when you read through it, you kind of get excited. So the thing is, Spider Mace cooldown is 8 seconds. That's not that high, right? Especially if you have a charge mechanic on it. And then the exciting part is the little text here at the bottom that says when you slow or poison, charge this 2 seconds. So what does that actually mean? Let's go back to venom, right? If you put venom on one side of this item, of spider mace, it's going to make spider mace charge itself. Now, I don't know how easy... Yes, spider drill. The moment I saw this, my Dooley player brain immediately went into drill ideas. So I was thinking this is going to be like a baby drill for Mac. Now, another problem is when you think about drill, what makes drill so outstandingly good is the amount of damage it has. And the way you scale is through skills. But it's kind of, when you get scaling on the drill, it's very late in the run. And if you get this on bronze, you need like a higher number to kind of start doing damage with. So I was thinking there is another item that you can pair this up really well with. Yes, Poppy Field, exactly, chat. You guys are so smart. Exactly, Poppy Field. So I'm thinking Poppy Field paired with Spider Mace and then paired again with Venom could be pretty good as a combination. And I first want to show my next item, the last item that we're going to talk about. And it's an item that starts with gold. I thought it was very interesting. I like the design of it as well. Like, we're not going to talk about art. Art is amazing, of course, but let's talk about the text on the sides. So scales, it's a medium item, starts at gold. It's a tool, has that tag to it. Now look at the text. It says charge adjacent items 1 second. Now if you have the same amount of items on both sides of this, charge all other items instead. It's quite a unique mechanic, isn't it? So thinking about what we can do about it, let's think about the positioning. So on every board, we have how many? We have 10 slots. So if we have 2 slots taken in the middle for this, what can we do with the sides? So I was thinking, you want everything more than 2 items, because if you just have 2 items on the sides, it's just going to charge adjacent items 1 second. It's the same thing. You don't have to think about charging the whole board. So you want more benefit than that. So that means probably, like, I would say maybe situation A would be to have 4 small items on one side and then 4 small items on the other side. Or you can have like 3 small items with some space on the board. Or you can have a medium item, 2 small items, a medium item, and 2 small items at the other side as well. Or 2 medium, like basically square Mac working in that way, like around scales. Or you can have like a large item and a small item, a large item and a small item again. And that can be really, really interesting. Now, my guess is, Chet, I don't know what you think about this, but my guess is that when you upgrade this to diamond, the charge is going to be 2 seconds because of the S in the brackets here. So I'm guessing that the charge is going to be 2 seconds. Now, charging your board 2 seconds, and if you manage to haste this, of course, that's going to be 2.5 seconds to charge your whole board, and that's going to be pretty interesting. So what I was thinking that you can do with this is, like, this is just pure on speculation theory crafting that I had. Probably will never be viable, but I was thinking about using it with some other items. So 2 items that I was thinking of were Bottle Tornado and Crocodile Tears. I don't know if you guys... Oh, by the way, pardon my horrible cropping skills. I just did this while I was theory crafting on my own, so I haven't checked if I could maybe crop them better. But what I was thinking is, so Bottle Tornado starts at 7 seconds. Now, if you put it next to the scales and you charge it up, if it's like a diamond scale, in the best possible setup, it could go off at 5 seconds, right? And then Crocodile Tears would also go off earlier. And then what happens, I'm thinking that if you start your own sandstorm, like you can with the Bottle Tornado, with the Crocodile Tears, when the sandstorm ticks, because when you read the text right here, when your enemy takes damage, so it doesn't matter how much damage. It's not like how much shield you lose on Angry Balloon Bot. Here it's different. It's how many instances of enemy taking damage can happen. And I was thinking that the fastest thing that could apply damage so many times to an enemy other than a drill board or something like that, that bypasses an internal cooldown, would be an item, would be the Sandstorm. So if you were to maybe play around these bots with the scales, maybe you can make it work faster before your enemy can set up and survive. That could be pretty interesting. Another setup with that would be maybe Memento Mori. So you could have another medium item on the other side of your board. Memento Mori is an item that I wanted to mention in this possible setup. I was thinking, like, when it says heal whatever you heal and take no damage for 1 second, probably 2 seconds when it gets upgraded. In a crazy sandstorm environment, a survivability of 2 seconds is huge that your opponent cannot have. Another thing is like you cannot get sniped. You cannot get big whammied. There's a lot of weapons against which this item definitely protects you against. And I wanted to talk about my crazy outlandish idea for square mech. So listen, guys. The idea is around an item called Runic Blade. What I was thinking about scales. So the idea is you start your board off on the left, on the far left, you have your Runic Blade, right? And then it says it has a crit chance of 100%, and when you crit, double this item's damage for the fight. And it has lifesteal. So what you put next to it would be Pendulum. When you use an adjacent item, charge the other adjacent item for 1 second. And then in the middle, we have Scales. And then on the right, we have first Mirror that says transform into the medium item to the left. To the left of this. No, Mirror goes at the end. So then go the Runic Daggers. The Runic Daggers, when you crit with another item, charge this for 1 second and multicast 2. We don't care about their damage, right? And then we put the Mirror in the end to copy the Runic Daggers. So you have like 4 casts of lifesteal crit that's going to keep happening. That's going to be boosting your Runic Blade on the left. Now, I don't know if this is going to be viable, but when the items come out, I'm definitely going to try to play a square mech with the scales in the middle. I think there's a lot of flexibility to be gained around scales. Like you can use it with large items. And the last extra item that wasn't in my pack, but I want to talk about because it really has synergy with my pack, is the Spider Mace Enabler. Now I'm thinking Poppy Field with the Spider Mace can be pretty broken. Look at this. It's now a passive item. So when you use a weapon, poison 3, and then your weapons have plus damage equal to the poison of your enemy, which means that the little Spider Mace, if it has venom next to it, first it will trigger itself for a 2-second charge whenever you use it, but it will also passively increase its own damage when it gets used because of the Poppy Field. And then every time it gets used with venom next to it, it would get double charges both from itself and from the Poppy Seed. And what I'm thinking else about Poppy Seed and the Spider Mace being very good together is the fact that, look at this, look at the frames. Poppy Field is a large item that starts at bronze. Usually Poppy Fields are items you can find very large items at bronze are items you can find pretty consistently. That was the problem that we had with Force Field being so broken. Like my first time climbing into Legend rank, I actually played a lot of Force Field with Armor Core, without Armor Core, whatever you put it next to. And it was really easy to play around because it was guaranteed to be an item you can find easily. Like how many large items do you have in the bronze item pool? The same thing with Fixer Upper. That's why it's so consistent to find so easily. So my thoughts on the pack are that there's a lot of flexibility around these 2 items. I think they're going to be interesting to play around. And I'm thinking that like maybe the underdog that nobody's noticing here is the Venom being a passive item as an enabler for applying poison effects with your weapons. So I'm thinking that could be pretty interesting. Now, I don't know what you guys think, what your guys' opinion is, but if you have anything in mind, please let me know in the chat. And I hope we're all going to have a lot of fun playing with these items on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, what's going to happen is that we're going to get a new hero, Mac. And as I have heard from the Discord page, he should not be locked behind a paywall. He should be available to unlock with the crystals. But then again, I'm just speculating. And there's also going to be a Duelik pack incoming and a Vanessa card pack incoming. And I can't wait to see you guys in the Bazaar, starting with Wednesday and Season 1 officially starting.